welcome to Injili Media.
31st of December 2025. Wherever the clock strikes midnight, the world is immersed in colors, music, shouts of joy. In Pakistan, Christians, like millions of other Pakistanis, celebrate the new year with lights, sounds, hymns of praise, and above all, love and hope. Let's look at how this year has been for specifically the Christians in Pakistan. The 2nd of January, 25-year-old Suleiman Iqbal, primary provider for his family in Gujranwala, is dead. On the 5th of January, a 12-year-old Christian girl was kidnapped and forced into marriage with a 35-year-old Muslim man. 21st of January, Sajid and his gang attacked Shabazz Masih and his family during the night in the village of Malibala. 26th of January, Farhan Masih, a mentally challenged man, is charged with blasphemy and terrorism. On 7th of February, a 12-year-old Christian girl is abducted at gunpoint from her village. On the same day, a 16-year-old girl is also allegedly abducted from her home in Karachi. The 10th of February, Pastor Shabazz Barkat from Gujranwala was shot by two masked assailants. February 19th, in Sialkot, a 14-year-old Christian girl, Sneha, was recovered during a late-night operation and placed in protective custody. On the 27th of February, in Punjab, a Christian man named Wasif Masih, 35, is severely assaulted by a group of Muslim landowners. In a positive development, some Christians wrongly accused of blasphemy were acquitted in 2025. In one case, a civil court annulled the forced marriage and conversion of a Christian woman. On the 17th of March, 25-year-old Arsalan from Lahore is arrested by the Federal Investigation Agency for allegedly sharing blasphemous content on Facebook. On the 21st of March in Sheikhupura, Muhammad Zohaib, a shift in charge at a paper mill, the throat of Waqas Masih for not converting to Islam. Also in March, 8 Muslim men gang a 15-year-old maid. 14th of April in Hafizabad, poison sweets are distributed to children by an unidentified person that has resulted in the deaths of 3 children. On the 21st of April in Rawalpindi, a 3-year-old Christian toddler was and by a Muslim man. On the 23rd of April in Lahore, a Christian girl, Veronica Masih, went to buy some items from a nearby shop. The owner of the shop tried to force her into activity. On the 28th of April, an 8-year-old Christian boy, Harry, was tied up with ropes, his hands folded to the neck, and beaten by a Muslim dry cleaner. On the 6th of May in Faisalabad, 19-year-old Gulfam Masih was while returning home on a motorcycle with his uncle. On the 16th of May, Judicial Magistrate Hassan Sarfaraz Chima in Lahore awarded the custody of a Catholic girl, Jessica, to the man who had allegedly kidnapped her, forced her to convert to Islam, and married her. 26th of May, a Christian girl escaped from her Muslim abductor, who forcefully converted her to Islam, subjected her to repeated assaults. 1st of June, 4 Muslim boys from Sialkot abducted and gang a 19-year-old Christian girl. On the 4th of June, a 15-year-old Christian girl from a financially disadvantaged background was abducted in Wazirabad. On the 11th of June, in Sangla Hill, a 20-year-old Christian woman was ganged by 3 men while her 3-year-old daughter witnessed the assault. On the 12th of June, Farhan Masih was acquitted from the charges of blasphemy and terrorism. On the 5th of June, the Supreme Court of Pakistan ordered the acquittal of Anwar Kenneth, an elderly Christian who had been wrongfully sentenced to death and imprisoned for 23 years. On the 6th of July, a Christian child had taken a plastic bag from a local store, which provoked the Muslim shopkeeper, and he ended up inflicting severe physical violence on the child, which included slapping, forcefully tossing him on the ground, and strangulation. On the 16th of July, Christians from Pakistan gathered at the Palace of Westminster in London to discuss strategies for supporting Christians in Pakistan. On the 19th of July, Amir Masih, a 56-year-old man living in Lahore, was detained on the charges of blasphemy by a local Muslim resident. On the 28th of July, according to Amnesty International, sanitation workers in Pakistan, mainly from Christian marginalized caste backgrounds, face systematic discrimination and hazardous working conditions. In another incident in July, in Sialkot, Rana Muhammad Abbas allegedly shot Bhuta Masih, a 55-year-old labourer. On the 9th of August, in Lahore, Muhammad Nazir Bhatti blackened Kamran Masih's face, and by making him sit on a donkey, beating him and causing significant mistreatment, including shaving his eyebrows and head. The 11th of August, Pakistan's National Minorities Day. The day was celebrated by many while criticized and discussed by many others. On the 14th of August, the nation celebrated its 78th Independence Day. On the 16th of August, we remember Jallianwala. 2 years after the violent attacks on the Christian community in Jallianwala, despite numerous allegations against thousands of individuals, there have been no convictions so far. On the 18th of September, in Kot Radha Kishan, a Christian man, Shoaib Masih, is subjected to severe abuse at the hands of 3 Muslim men. On the 16th of September, a young 4th grader at Kalara Badi School is facing constant bullying and pressure from her peers to convert to Islam. The child reported that one of her classmates told her that Christianity is a dirty religion, convert to Islam. On the 8th of September, Hafizabad, Muhammad Haroon, a Muslim man, a 14-year-old Christian girl. On the 13th of September, in Sialkot, Yusuf Masih, a father of 4, went missing. His body was recovered 3 days later. His remains were found in a dumpster. The 23rd of September, in Vihari, Asif Masih, a 32-year-old Christian man, is murdered. On the 21st of September, Pastor Kamran Naz is attacked by 2 unidentified assailants. On the 27th of September, a report titled Hope Behind Bars by the National Commission for Justice and Peace revealed discrimination against Christians and Hindu inmates in Pakistan. Many Christian prisoners describe being treated as untouchables by the staff and fellow inmates. On the 3rd of October, in Sialkot, Michael Masih, a Christian sanitation worker, reportedly endured mistreatment and abuse from his supervisor Muhammad Arif Aziz after his refusal to convert to Islam. On the 10th of October, in Lahore, violence was reported involving Fawzia, a Christian woman employed as a bonded labourer at a local brick kiln. 15th of October, Zulfikar Masih, a Christian man, reported forcibly being evicted from his home by a local Muslim landlord. And now it's time for some good news. On the 17th of October, a judge in Bahawalpur ordered the National Database and Registration Authority to issue a corrected identity card for a 22-year-old Christian named Rahul Masih. On the 21st of October, the Punjab government announced plans to ban the far-right political party Tehreek-e-Labak, or the TLP. The party is known for its focus on blasphemy and religious nationalism. The 24th of October, a 12-year-old boy from Kasur is sent to prison because of an altercation he had with his Muslim peer. 25th of October, in Gujarat, Noman Masih was assaulted by a group of security personnel who had accused him of assaulting his minor daughter. The daughter confirmed that her father had not engaged in any unlawful behavior. On the 27th of October, in Hafizabad, a 15-year-old girl is gang by 3 Muslim men. On the 1st of November in Gujranwala, a mob of 50 to 60 people attacked the office of Sidra Shabazz, a leader and a social activist for the Christian community. On the 4th of November, the Lahore High Court rejected the petition for a judicial inquiry into the attacks on the Christian community in Gujranwala. 6th of November in Lahore, 3 Christian organizations filed a petition with the Lahore High Court claiming the Punjab Government Act violates the constitutional rights of religious minorities. They argue that the laws restrict these minorities from directly electing their representative in the upcoming local elections. On the 6th of November, the Lahore High Court grants bail to a 29-year-old Christian woman who was wrongfully imprisoned for over a year on unfounded blasphemy charges. On the 7th of November, a blind Christian man is charged with blasphemy after an attack by a Muslim co-worker. On the 21st of November, the National Commission for Human Rights, or the NCHR, submitted a constitutional petition to the Federal Constitutional Court invoking Article 184. This petition calls for a nationwide ban on manual sewer cleaning and the enforcement of health and safety regulations for sanitation workers. On the 23rd of November, Zahid Masih from Lahore, employed as a sanitation worker at Ganga Ram Hospital, was assaulted by his contractor and colleagues after he requested 5 months of unpaid wages for himself, his mother and his sister. On the 29th of November, in Sialkot, Michael Masih, a sanitation worker who has reported ongoing difficulties related to religious discrimination. He now appeals to the Prime Minister of Pakistan for intervention. 4th of December, Nusrat Bibi is recognized for her honesty after finding and returning a large sum of cash that she discovered from the garbage. On the 5th of December, in Gujranwala, Pastor Kamran Salamat, 45 years old, is assassinated. On the 7th of December, in Sahiwal, a 14-year-old girl is abducted and raped while she was out buying bread. On the 10th of December, the Islamabad High Court banned the phrase Christians only in ads for recruiting waste collectors and sanitation workers. On the 10th of December, the Islamabad High Court directed the federal government to urgently implement protective measures for sanitation workers. On the 12th of December, in Gujranwala, a 19-year-old tuition teacher, Muhammad Aziz Dogar, a 6-year-old Christian girl. So this was the year 2025 for the Christians in Pakistan. Thank you, and I wish you all a very happy new year.